The Current Year, Part 2, Mars. Mars was colonized during the first space leap from 1950 to 1966 and terraformed fully fall of 2011. Colonist DNA was changed in some way or another. The most visible outward sign for Terrans born on Mars were their eyes. Just like any other Martian, everyone had a little bit of red in their iris center. Genetic augmentation and splicing had to be used for the duration of that terraforming process, since the planet lacked a stable magnetic field and its gravity wasn't the same. It was 62% lower than Earth's. That had to be countered either by consistently wearing bulky suits to protect oneself from radiation and pump everybody's bloodstream full of restorative meds to keep the bone and muscle structures intact, or implement a wide range of genetic modifications. As a matter of fact, the visible effect of those augmentations were the golden skin and blood irises of all who were born here on Mars during the initial colonization and terraforming process. Obviously, the invasion of Pirate Lord Mayum's armada into the solar system dramatically slowed and damaged all similar projects that were being worked on throughout the entirety of, well, everywhere. Despite the fact that then Mars had a tiny population, just a mere 30 million settlers and terraforming engineers, the pirates captured it. All of the expensive equipment looted, most of the mobile terraforming bases got obliterated, and worst of all, the peerless engineers who maintained and operated them captured and sold into slavery. It took Mars nearly a decade to restore everything and bring the project into fruition. Mere hours after the first humans were captured and put aboard the Pushva clan slave ships and whisked away, they were stormed by Killera Alliance star troopers. The soldiers themselves weren't Killera, but one of the many alien races who, being a part of their alliance, selflessly volunteered to aid Earth in their darkest hour. Together, with thousands of hastily formed by the enraged human militia units, they were the first responders who tracked down, chased, and then assaulted the pirate ships and strongholds, in many cases brazenly invading clan territory. It was like nothing that those clanners ever saw, heard, nor experienced in their lives beforehand. Tiny combat units equipped with only the very basic of a gear and armed with the much ridiculed Terran quote unquote barbaric weapons relentlessly attacked them, invading their home planets. In most, if not all cases, the humans were heavily outnumbered. Humanity's alien allies at first were skeptical and warned the Terrans of clan superiority. The humans listened, took notes, and then descended upon the clanners, defeating them with viciousness, valor, and bravery, such that they would never have imagined possible. In essence, those aliens felt the spirit of Terra. It inflamed their souls, and soon they themselves were fighting shoulder to shoulder with the humans, sporting the same battle spirit. Together, they achieved the impossible. They saved millions of humans from the cruelest of fates and vanquished millions of clanners, capturing their very bases, looting their gear, and using those against them. Finally, after the invaders were chased off, the freed colonists fought to continue the terraforming process. Huge magnetic towers were built all over the planet to provide shielding against deadly cosmic rays and solar radiation while the planet's outer core was slowly being re energized. The terraforming engineers took their time as this was their first project of such magnitude and they wanted it to go smoothly. Counting on large, well equipped moving machines called, quote, mobile bases, the engineers could travel the whole surface of Mars carrying construction and terraforming equipment with them. The big tractor vehicles were the size of small houses. The most came equipped with splicing and nanotech laboratories. Planting forests in the reclaimed areas, introducing new forms of modified wildlife into the rivers and canals as well. Slowly but surely, the industrious and free citizens of the newly formed monarchy turned Mars from a rocky, dusty desert into a beautiful planet covered with lush green forests and a lot of water. Soon, more fauna was introduced, most notably Earth's buffalo and other smaller mammals, whose herds were now cared for by Martian ecobiologists turned ranchers. These hardy colonists are using the same old mobile bases, refurbished and turned into comfortable cattle ranch on the move. The conservationists, a movement who arose in effect to preserve the, quote, true face of Mars, as they saw it, fought and succeeded in preserving one large part of Mars' desert untouched. These colonists refused to undergo the genetic reversal procedures even after Mars was finally terraformed. The old people, they say, that defined Martian traits, such as their golden skin and red irises, are a thing that will stay with humanity for centuries to come. If you've enjoyed this short telling, then please consider supporting the Black Knight, the author, by checking out and purchasing his books on Amazon: Starshatter, Twin Sons of Corellia, and Treads of Vengeance. He can even be supported on Patreon, and you can find him actively on Minds.com. Not to mention, consider liking and subscribing to this channel as well. Thank you for visiting. Have a wonderful day. Farewell.